Martin Schiff. You ever heard that name before? Paul Cook. Hans Winterfeld. Franz Reichelen. And a fellow by the name of Marta. How about the Sinclair Consolidated Oil Corporation? Yeah, they were there too. And the J.G. White Engineering Corporation. Neat. We have built these monsters, including Hitler. We are responsible, we here in the United States, a very forward nature, a nation moving ahead like crazy. They've used us, they've used our money, and they've used our young men, which were expendable. In World War I, in the Russian Revolution, in World War II, in the Korean War, in the Vietnamese War, 52,000 Americans died. For what? Did you win anything? Did I win anything? Yeah, but they win something. For using you. I'm talking about oil. I am talking about oil. Now, let us take all of that oil from Alaska, the Prudhoe Bay crude oil in dollars and cents. We've got all the facts here. It's a simplified breakdown on the cost of 1 barrel of oil. And it demonstrates how this CFR, Trilateral Commission Influenced Government, oil companies and the media cooperate in swindling billions of dollars from the American public. It's a fraud on a gigantic scale, and I know that when you hear this, it'll make you a little sick, but it won't matter. You'll figure that, well, there's nothing you can do about it. You just let it in and take your medicine. West Coast price by the refinery for a barrel of oil, $32.50. The pipeline tariff from Prudhoe Bay to Valdez is $2.42. The tankering cost from Valdez to the West Coast is another 70 cents. So now we have the wellhead price of $29.38. Wellhead price from $29.38. 1/8 of that goes to the state of Alaska for royalties, $3.67. Severance tax in the state of Alaska, $3.50. You can see why they get a lot of money up there. Now let's look at the windfall tax. This is a federal excise tax. Because right at this point, ladies and gentlemen, no one has earned a dime. All that go. Yet, out of that $32.50, the windfall profits tax that the Congress so generously gave the president, $11.46. In other words, these companies are paying profits before they even get the profits. I can't understand how they do that, because how do we know what the profits are going to be? Alright, operating costs, getting the oil out of the ground is 50 cents. The pre-tax profit is $10.25. That's what it comes down to. Now we have the gross profit before income tax is $10.25. The Alaska state income tax comes out at now 96 cents. The federal income tax, 48% comes out at, that's $4.47. Moving a net profit to the producer at 11 cents a gallon, $4.82. The consumer pays, in other words, $32.50. The cost of the pipeline, tankering and operating and everything, $362. The Alaska state tax is $8.13. The federal windfall profits tax is $15.93. Giving the oil company $4.82. Okay, so they're producing so much of it. The oil companies still, they do quite well. But this federal windfall profits tax has had a substantial impact on Texas producers and royalty owners. Because it's a federal tax, however, no precise figures are reported. But according to Bob Bullock, the Comptroller of Public Accounts, he says our state oil and gas severance taxes are computed and reported on a straightforward percentage of value at the well-end basis. Unfortunately, the windfall profits tax is computed on a far more complicated basis, which takes into account several other factors. Therefore, our own state tax data cannot be utilized to calculate the amount of federal taxes which would have been imposed on the same product. He said, I have enclosed estimates of windfall profits tax collections for the United States and Texas, which have been compiled by the Texas Energy and Natural Resources Advisory Council, which are a member. And he says, and I have the table here, it says tables 4 and 5 indicate that over $12 billion of windfall profits tax will be imposed on Texas production this year. These figures represent a fairly good approximation of the impact this tax is having on the state of Texas. I can remember Jimmy Carter, and that's where you can too. When he established this and made some real rough statements. He said, I'll never lie to you. Remember that? Well, he said it on all 3 national television channels at the same time. He promised to punish the big greedy oil companies by extracting a windfall profits tax on their obscene profits. And with the help of Congress implemented the taxes recommended in the Triangle Papers number 17, entitled Energy, Managing the Transition. It's published by the Trilateral Commission. And you know who they are. It's a private organization based in New York City, and a report from that publication. Energy prices. Each trilateral government, get this, it's their own publication, so they admit they've infiltrated governments everywhere. Each trilateral government, at a minimum, should take steps to move its domestic energy prices as rapidly as possible to world market levels. Trilateral governments might consider mechanisms such as excise tax for raising prices above world levels. That's on page 13. For this reason, on page 73 it says, it may be appropriate for the trilateral countries, there it is again, to number 1, consider various mechanisms for increasing prices gradually. We therefore urge each trilateral government to review its tax structure and develop specific energy taxes. An obvious example here is a higher federal excise tax on gasoline in the United States. Notice that the words windfall profits do not appear in these quotes. These words are designed to deceive the people into believing government would tax oil company profits for the benefit of the general public. The same deceitful tactic was used in leaving the privately owned for-profit corporation, the Federal Reserve, to create the myth that the Fed is a government agency. Now, the truth is, the tax is an excise tax taken from the oil company before 1 penny of profit is earned. How can they call it an excess profits tax? They haven't made any money yet. It must be added to the cost of the goods sold and passed on to the consumer in the form of higher prices. Now you know who's paying that, don't you? Boy, if you can't figure that out, then you're hopelessly lost. When you go to the gas pump and you pay those prices, you're paying it. The windfall profits tax you're paying because it's sucked to the oil company before they have any profits. The oil company merely acts as a tax collecting agency for government. The citizens pay the tax